Hello and welcome back to Music and Moonsalts. I am your host, Chris Bourdine. And before we get started today, follow me on Twitter at IbenezChris. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, please. If you want to just listen to what I have to say, you can find everything on all your major podcast platforms. Just go to anchor.fm and the link for that will be in the description of the video. And from there, you can find it on whatever podcast platform you choose. Just search Music and Moonsalts. Today, I wanted to get this out real quick. Another special bonus episode, new album review. Today we are going to be discussing the brand new Paul Stanley's Soul Station album, entitled Now and Then. You can see there's the back cover right there, Paul Stanley's Soul Station. There's a better picture of the cover, and then I'll also bring up the picture. Bam! There we go. So this came out last Friday, March 19th. I pre-ordered the vinyl. And I was quite impressed. When I pre-ordered the last Foo Fighters album, which I've also reviewed, you can find that in the archives. It took a week after the release date to get to me. And that was directly from Foo Fighters. I pre-ordered this from You Discover Music. That's you, the letter U. And I, of course, had to splurge and get the special colored vinyl. This purple violet color that hopefully I didn't ruin. Pretty cool looking. It's a double LP set. But yeah, so like I said, the album came out on Friday the 19th. I got it the vinyl came in the mail on Saturday. So, real quick turnaround on that. I was very happy about that. And then, so, also inside, there's this, there's Paul looking all cool. And on the back, there's some more shots of the group performing live. So, Paul Stanley Soul Station, this started out as just something Paul Stanley was doing for fun. On his free time. I think he formed the group in 2015, I think, and he was just doing it to play some live shows, to play some Motown hits, some Philadelphia soul, stuff like that. And he had so much fun in the shows that they played that he decided that he wanted to record an album with the group, and so they did. And it's pretty good. So like Motown, especially living in Michigan, you can't help but be exposed to it. It's not something I listen to too often. But it's definitely something I have a very healthy respect for, and I do go through phases, usually around like Christmas time. Like I love all the Motown Christmas, Stevie Wonder's Someday at Christmas Time album is a favorite of mine to listen to around the holidays. But yeah, so it's not something I'm, like I said, I'm not super knowledgeable about it, I guess I would say, but it's definitely something I enjoy from time to time. And so because of that, and because it's Paul Stanley, like, I'm not a celebrity person where it's like, I'd love to meet all these, have a list a mile long of celebrities that I'd like to meet or whatever. Like, I'm just like, okay, whatever. But if there is one that I would say, like, I would love to meet, it's Paul Stanley. Like, he's my favorite. Oh, I see what I did. There we go. Okay. There's that back. He's my favorite musician, rock star, whatever you want to call it, front man. Being a bass player, yes, I like Gene Simmons of Kiss, but Paul Stanley's my guy. Like, he's the reason why, as a bass player, I gravitate towards Ibanez basses, because Paul Stanley plays Ibanez guitars, off and on throughout his career. Hence why my Twitter handle is why it is. So, yeah, when this was announced, I was pretty excited for it. And after giving it a couple listens, I really dig it. So there's, let's see here, 4, 7, 11, there's 15, or no, 14. Sorry, my math is wrong. There's 14 tracks, right? 4. Yeah, 14 tracks. 5 of which are brand new original songs. So Paul not only wanted to, do a bunch of covers of these songs that he loves, but he also wanted to, this is something he's done quite often. He likes to challenge himself by writing songs of a particular style that maybe aren't necessarily his wheelhouse. For example, the song Hard Luck Woman, which appears on the Rock and Roll Over album, sung by Peter Criss. Paul wrote that because he heard like songs like Maggie May and all the Rod Stewart hits of the 70s, and was like, I can write a Rod Stewart song. And his intention was to give it to Rod Stewart, until like Peter was like, screw you, I want to sing this song, and they ended up recording it. But and famously, I Was Made From Loving You, controversial as that song is, again, that was just a case of Paul going to the clubs in New York City and being like, I can write a song like this. And so he did, and it ended up becoming their biggest hit internationally. So, but there's, like I said, there's 5 original songs, and they're sprinkled interspersed in the album. I Do, IOI, Save Me From You, Whenever You're Ready, I'm Here, and Lorelei. IOI is like the 3rd single he released off the album. He released 2 of the covers. He released Ooh Child and Could It Be I'm Falling in Love, and then he released IOI a couple weeks ago as the first original song, kind of for everyone to hear. And again, not being an expert on soul, old school soul and Motown and all that, like, to me, like, if they fit right in with all the other material on this album. So, that's a notch under his belt, I guess. It doesn't feel out of place. Doesn't feel like he's tried too hard. And yeah, so they were all written, arranged, and orchestrated by him. Like, he did it all. So it's pretty cool. Before I talk about the covers on the album, I do want to open up the gatefold here. One of the cool parts of being a double LP is that there's usually a nice gatefold. So here's what that looks like. So over here, it's got like a, I don't know, not really like a letter. It's kind of again for Kiss fans, it's a little bit reminiscent. Obviously, it's longer, but if you recall in the first Kiss Alive album, on the inside, there's a picture of 4 pieces of paper, and there are 4 notes written by each member of the band and signed and stuff. So this is kind of that same thing, but it's a little bit longer form, and it's just kind of basically giving the inspiration. I'm just gonna go ahead and read what he wrote here. He says, "I was fortunate to grow up at a time when music was less about categories, and the diversity in sound excited an eager horde of listeners who wanted and embraced it. There was real excitement in experiencing new colors and flavors. Before I ever saw Led Zeppelin, The Who, or any of the great cornerstones of British rock, I saw Solomon Burke. I saw the incomparable Otis Redding in concert. I saw the Temptations in all their testosterone and glory as they sang and moved with a cockiness that came with them knowing they set the bar for every act that would follow their ascent. The music that first spoke to me back then came out of Detroit, a hotbed and spawning ground for young artists singing about life in all its pain, power, and passion. Berry Gordy, Smokey, Little Stevie Wonder, Holland, Dozier, Holland, Norman Whitfield, Barrett Strong, the list goes on and on. Motown, its roster of acts, and the street-felt passion of their music was revolutionary. You want to talk rock anthem? Dancing in the Streets by Martha and the Vandellas was a call to arms to hit the streets and dance. And I can't forget Kenny Gamble, Leon Huff, and Tom Bell, who came to define Philly soul with, among others, the Spinners, the OJs, the Stylistics, and Blue Magic. Memphis, Stax Volt, Muscle Shoals, Al Green, and Willie Mitchell, all life-changing and life-enriching for me. Sadly, much of that greatness has been relegated to the golden oldies section, despite the fact that it was not only the foundation of so much that came after, but is still as glorious as ever. Loving it all as I do, I followed through on a pipe dream that some thought crazy. I wanted to form a band of supremely talented and experienced musicians who would feel the same way I do. An alliance and family driven to playing all these songs with reverence and respect for the original recordings. And me? I would humbly sing those songs that helped shape a young boy who to this day still feels that initial excitement of long ago as if it were yesterday. The planets must have aligned and the forces of nature must have combined, because what came together is not only a group capable of carrying that music forward, but also writing a few new pages in a never-ending story. There is a joy we share together in Soul Station, not only as musicians, but as people on and off stage. I am blessed to be part of it, and blessed that we can share it all with you. Paul Stanley. So there you go. You kind of get the backstory. A couple examples of, like, because you know, if you don't know, you know, you could be thinking Paul Stanley and Motown. Like, I got a text from Matt, like, wait, Paul Stanley's a soul singer now? Like, what's going on? Just real quick, there's so some examples of how this style of music influenced Paul when writing Kiss material. Take, for example, Shout It Out Loud off the Destroyer album. You know, it goes, the night's begun and you want some fun. Do you think you're gonna find it? Think you're gonna find it? Like a call and response thing, kind of like a Four Tops deal. And then fast forward a little bit to an album called Killers, which was like a an import. It was released internationally, and it was basically a bunch of greatest hits with like 4 new songs. This is like in the in between of music from The Elder and Creatures of the Night, so like 82-ish, I want to say. One of the new songs is called Nowhere to Run. Now, if you're familiar with the Supreme song, Back in My Arms Again, there's a line in Back in My Arms Again. There's a line, I lost him once through friends' advice, but it's not gonna happen twice. In Nowhere to Run, there's a line, I was there with a shoulder to lean on, it's not gonna happen twice. So, again, like, borrowing, everyone does it. Borrow, steal, whatever you want to call it. Repurpose, reimagine. There's a bunch of different names you can call it, but a couple examples of how this type of music worked its way into Kiss music. But back to this Soul Station album. So the songs he covers are, and again, I'm not going to do like a track by track review here, because in my opinion, my limited expertise that I have, again, all these songs he does very faithfully. He doesn't do anything crazy with them. Sings them straight, and at this point in his career, I'm putting this nicely, and at this point in his career, I actually believe that this style of music suits him and his voice better, because he's able to use a lot of falsetto and not have to put as much strain on his voice as when he's singing a lot of the Kiss material, where he's really belting it out full force. On this stuff, he can kind of chill a little bit and sing a little softer and use some falsetto and that kind of stuff. So, in order as they appear in the album, again, the originals are sprinkled in here a little bit. So first things first, Could It Be I'm Falling in Love by the Spinners. Ooh Baby Baby by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles. And that one, he does do a little bit different. The opening of the song is a vocal harmony a cappella intro into the song. The next one is Ooh Child by the Five Stair Steps. That was actually the first single he released. Then we get Just My Imagination by the Temptations. Another Smokey Robinson and the Miracle song, Tracks of My Tears. Let's Stay Together by Al Green. La La Means I Love You by the Delphonics. You Are Everything by the Stylistics. And Baby I Need Your Loving by the Four Tops. And I was familiar with pretty much all of these. You Are Everything, I don't think I was real familiar with, but everything else I probably couldn't have told you who sang what, with a couple, Tracks of My Tears is obviously Smokey Robinson. And Let's Stay Together is out, obviously Al Green. A couple of them, no, it's like, is it the Four Tops or is it the Temptations? I'm getting better about differentiating the two as I go along here. But yeah, pretty much all these are very familiar songs if you have any kind of working knowledge of this style of music. So, but that's about it. If you're into this type of music, I would definitely give it a shot. As I said, I think Paul and his band does an incredible job of being faithful to the material and respecting it, giving it the respect it deserves. Yeah, so that's it. That's my review. Like I said, I'm not going to go too deep into it, so it's not like it's a whole lot of brand new material to the critique. It's all stuff that has stood the test of time for the most part, other than the five brand new songs. So, all right, that'll do it. Like I said, I just want to do something real quick, kind of like I did with the Foo Fighters album, kind of show off the packaging and talk about the album a little bit. So, thank you for everyone who voted on the WrestleMania draft. Congratulations to Jeremy Lambert on being the winner. I somehow came in last place in my own gimmick. I call shenanigans on that one, but you know, it is what it is. I've got tomorrow, because I'm gonna upload this immediately. So tomorrow I've got Joel Pearl, new Fightful champion Joel Pearl. He's gonna be on. We recorded that a couple weeks ago, talking about Weird Al's Bad Hair Day album. So that's fun. And then we got some WrestleMania related stuff coming up at the beginning of April. Yeah, so lots of stuff coming. So thank you all for all your support. Again, I'll repeat the spiel here at the end. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, follow me on Twitter at IBanezChris. Podcasts, all platforms, Spotify, give me a follow, Apple Podcasts, 5-star rating, leave a good review. Yeah, that's about it. So until next time, see ya.